I'm just trying to share it with people. Here we need to share the link. But yeah, it's working. Yay. It's working. So how have everyone been? Are you good? Just trying to make this work. Today is a beautiful day. It's getting warmer outside, and I'm just enjoying the fact that I can bike around without my jacket all like clothes and like gloves, and yeah, it's just very comfortable right now. It's getting warmer. We're moving towards warmer times here, so yay for that. Okay, I'm just sharing it so everyone can get online. I hope this time was okay. Like, I know that people in Europe are probably sleeping. So sorry for that, but you know, it's a little tricky sometimes when I'm in China, somebody is in Europe, and somebody is in and somebody is in America, Australia. You know, the world is just really big. So, and also, well, of course, I guess at some point after a few months, when me and my roomie, when we're moving out of the dorm, we're gonna have an actual apartment. So I'm gonna buy one of those like studio lights, and then I'm gonna try to do like live streaming more often with better internet connection. So the problem is that the connection is too bad in my dorm, so I just don't trust it. I don't dare to do live streaming there. I'm just afraid that it's gonna be like 2 minutes of talking and then boom, it's not working anymore, and I'm like, oh my god, I promised all these people to be here and I'm not, and it's just not working, you know. So that's why I'm not doing it very often right now. I really want to do it more though. I really enjoy it, but the problem is just the internet, and I just cannot. I just feel like I would lose so much face and like disappoint people, and I don't want that to happen. So I thought this was a good place to be. You know, it's a beautiful background and it's kind of quiet. Someone is yelling a little bit in the other end, but we're only two people here. So, you know, sometimes you can actually be, sometimes there are not that many people around you here in China. And yeah, we have one person saying, Lingling, be careful not to catch a cold. The temperature is very changeable recently. I know, it's so annoying. It's like one day I'm like, oh, 10 degrees outside. I don't have to wear any clothes. Well, I'm still wearing clothes, of course, but I don't have to wear that much clothes. But then after 2 minutes, it's like ice again. And I'm like, oh my goodness grace, like, why is it so cold suddenly? Thank you, Jessie. Just posted the link. Okay, I'm just posting the link to my WeChat as well. I just need to, okay, well, if that works, we'll just, I'm trying to do two things at once here. Try to talk to you guys, also trying to like actually make this work. It's a little bad. Maybe I won't do it. Yeah, so anyways, thank you for showing up. Where are you located, the people who are here? Are you in America? I guess American time is the best one for this live streaming. That was the reason why I did it at this time. Also that I know that not many people are in the coffee shop at this time, so it's easier to do a live streaming here and not like bother anyone else. You know, I also have to be polite to other people, obviously. Just trying to find a picture that I saved so I can put it on. Okay, it's not here. Oh, whatever. Whatever, I'll just talk to you. It's also nice if it's just, you know, a little group of friends. I'm just happy that you could be here. So I guess we just should get started. In today's live streaming, we are going to talk about how I have been going through kind of like a personal development journey here in China, how China has helped me develop into kind of a pretty cool person, I would say. A person with a lot of nice or good skills that I can use for later on, or I actually use them every day already, but you know, I can use them more. So I want to go through a few different things that I have learned here. I actually did write a little list of things that I've learned, and then I thought we should talk a little bit about that. And remember, if you have any questions, of course, just let me know and I'll try to answer as good as I can as well. And Yeah, sorry. I'm just trying again with this with this picture. Okay, we're 5 people now. Yay! So I'm just trying to. I'm just sharing here. Da da da. Yeah. So I feel like I wanted to talk about this because I've started to gain or have like quite a bit of an interest in this thing, like personal development. I really love to watch YouTube videos about like motivation. Law of attraction is to me very interesting. So I have been looking more into that and trying to understand, what it is, what it means, and how to use it. And I just think it's so impressive how we can use these things. So I guess I don't know if you know what law of attraction is, but now I shared it. Okay. So law of attraction is very shortly, very shortly introduced. It's like if you have positive thoughts in your mind, then you can also do positive things in your life. And if you have negative thoughts, then there will be a negative outcome. I think it makes sense, It's like if you're very negative, like, oh, I cannot do this, I should not go there, like school, university is too hard for me, I don't have any money, I don't have blah, 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 blah. Like these negative things, then it's really hard to actually go out and make something out of your life. But if you have more of a positive mind and you tell yourself, you can do it, you'll be great, don't worry, just you have to work hard and then you'll get there, don't worry, you can do it, then it will be easier for you to get to the goals that you have been wanting to reach for a long time. So my friend Catherine, who have you seen in quite a lot of my videos now, actually, Catherine from Switzerland. We are both here in Beijing, and she has set up this group called Life Skills. And so it's a group on WeChat, and then every second week there is a different talk by a person, obviously, a different talk every second week here in Beijing, and then we go and kind of learn something from that. And last Friday I did this talk about how to visualize what you want in your life and how to actually take the first step towards your goal. And it was so interesting because I am not where I want to be yet, but I'm on my way and I'm learning every day. And I just love that I could go out and like share this experience with other people. And then the last few weeks after Catherine, she asked me to do this talk, I've just been thinking, what did I actually learn while I was here in China? And also, I've also been wondering, could I have learned it at home? I'm not sure. Okay, so if you're wondering what is Lingling talking about, well, I want to give you an example. So before China, I was just this 19-year-old, very naive girl in Denmark, didn't know anything about anything, to be honest. I was just like, oh, everyone is partying, so I should party. Everyone is having a boyfriend, so I should probably find one as well. And it was just comfortable life and whatever, we're just chilling, it's fine. But then I came to China and I was just like thrown into this different culture, and it was I don't know if you can say fault, but it was my own fault because I signed up for a program, so I decided to go here. But I literally before China I just thought, oh, in China it's just people have black eyes and I was just about to say blue hair, black eyes and black hair, and that's the only difference. And I didn't know about cultural differences, and I came here and then I started working in an environment where I was like, oh, people are actually very different from me. Like, I think this is common sense, but they don't seem to think that. So I think one of the biggest things that I have developed during my time here, personal development, is definitely patience. Patience, oh my gosh, like everything just takes a long time here, and sometimes the arguments, I'm just like, just breathe, Lingling, just breathe, my friend. Take it easy. Yeah, so I would say patience is definitely one thing that I have really had to learn here. That's number one. Number two, I don't know if you have seen the picture I shared on Facebook with the two other people. The guy with the really cool bouncy hair, he's from Latin America. The girl is from Scotland. I just met them that day, that evening. The girl, I literally met her 2 minutes before we took that picture together. It was a photographer at an event. So after coming to China, I've just been trying to push myself more to get out there. So I know that I don't seem like a shy person, and I'm not really anymore. There are situations where I'm like, and then I just don't say anything. I'm just like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna lose face. Like, it's really silly, but of course it happens to me as well. But I just think in China, I just learned to get out there more because in Denmark, basically, another example, in Denmark, when I was younger, I just always had the same friends. Like, we just were friends from, like, I don't know, primary school to, you know, old, yeah. Like, we were just friends for so many years that I was just never really pushed into meeting new people. I was always talking to the same people. Well, sometimes I would go out and meet other people, but then it's because they knew someone who I knew. So it was just like, hi, you're also my friend. Oh, okay, great, and then met each other like that. I gotta say though that when I was younger, I did do a lot of photography. So I sold my pictures to friends, horseback riding friends. Like, we all had horses and nobody had a camera, so I went out to take pictures of their horses, and then I sold the pictures to them. It was a very good business at that time, actually. So I had to meet new people and like go out with other people, and I remember some of my friends were like, "Ooh, why are you doing that? That's like, you don't know those people. Like, why are you going with them?" But I was slowly learning a little bit at that time, but I just feel like when I came to China, I was like, okay, girl, now you're alone. You're alone, and you're in a new country, new place. You have no idea about this place. You don't know anyone, and the language, in Denmark it was easier because everyone spoke Danish, right? But then I came to China the first time, and everyone was like international people. I didn't meet any Chinese in the beginning because we were like in this close group of like foreigners. So the first month in Beijing, I was just with those people, and I was like, oh my God, like they speak English all the time. And so basically, I was used to in school at home when we learn English, like our teacher is obviously Danish, right? So she would speak in English. But then if there was a word we didn't understand or I didn't know how to translate, I'll just say it in Danish and then she would translate it. So it was not a big deal. Like, if people didn't understand me, then I would just swap to Danish and then they would get it. But then I came to China and I was just really fascinated by the fact that nobody understood what I was saying if I talked in Danish, which is so stupid because obviously if you're not Danish then you don't speak Danish, right? But I was like, oh my God, like I'm a little screwed now because there are a lot of words I don't know in English and I don't know how to translate them either. So I learned that as well. I learned to get out there, get out of my comfort zone, speak a new language. So that was English at the time. We're going to move on to Chinese, of course. But English at the time, and I was pushed to meet new people all the time. Because I realized that if I'm not with people, then I just feel lonely. And lonely feeling is not a fun feeling. So you kind of pushed into it. And sometimes I felt so lonely or so left behind. So that's also something I'm going to talk about in my book. The book is going to be out this year, where I also explain some of these feelings I had the first time. And if you're coming to China or have been to China, like, moved to China recently, or maybe even if you've stayed here for years, like you probably know that at some point you were like, wow, I'm so alone here. Like, what am I going to do? But then you learn to stand on your own feet. You learn to be independent. Like, I think for me, I have been quite independent my whole life. Like, my parents always told me like, oh yeah, you can just come back home when you're when you're done with playing with your friends, like we were from a small village, so people just like biked around, and then we didn't have phones at that time. Sometimes my mom would call my friends' parents, be like, "Where is Lingling? Is she coming home?" And I would go horseback riding for hours, and and I wouldn't have any dinner with my parents. They're just like, "Where is she? Oh, she's probably out riding horses." So I was quite independent at that time, but still, when I came to China, that's like a total new level of independence, right? Like that's like if you don't know what to do, like you don't know, and nobody around you can help you. Like if you don't know how to explain it to them, if you know what I mean. So one example is, well, that's why I usually suggest people that if it's the first time in China and you have enough money for it, I would really, 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 really suggest that you go with some kind of program or agency, or just stay around some people who have been here a little while, so you don't feel like if there is a visa problem or a work problem and you're the only foreigner, you're just gonna be like, oh my god, I just need to go home, like this is awful. Because with the agency I was with, so if we had a problem, we could always call them or text them, be like, okay, this is an issue, like we need to figure this out, and then they would help us fix it. But if you're on your own, well, I guess you just learn even faster. Because I was in a program the first time I came here, and then the second time was like, nah, I can do it myself, it's fine, I'm independent now, I know everything, it's fine, no problem. So I came here the second time, and then when things went wrong, I was like, oh gosh, what am I gonna do now? But all these things, they slowly developed my skills, I guess. Okay, we have a few comments. I'm just gonna read Austin. Hey Austin, nice to see that you're here. China is a whole other kind of independence. Yes, it is. I'm happy you agree, because that was my experience. Like if you had said, oh no, it's not. Like Austin, he's from America, so he has obviously also had this experience. If you're just saying, no, it's not, then I'll be like, oh my god, was I just like really weak? I was only 19, and it was the first time I'd ever traveled like abroad. Like I would go around Europe with like my parents, but I don't think that counts really. So Yutong is saying, hi Lingling, my girlfriend's European. What advice would you give me to help her adapt to China better? Whew, that's well, Yutong, has she been to China before, or how long? That's the first question. Good morning, Maya. Nice to see you. We still need to find a date to hang out. I don't know if you're still in Beijing, by the way. So cool, everyone is here. Nice to see. I cannot read your name, Leo B something. I'm not sure what that is. I cannot read it. Sorry. I think like adapting to Chinese society, how to better do it. For me, it really helped that McDonald's was nearby. You guys have probably seen my latest video about Chinese food, right? So for me, every time I felt like weak or annoyed with China, I would just go to McDonald's and have like a Diet Coke and a burger, and then I was like, nice, okay, I'm better now, it's okay. I'm good again. That's one of my good advice. I also think that if your girlfriend, she is coming here and she only knows you, it's really important for her to go out and like meet other friends, and especially like foreign friends. So even though it's very good to adapt to Chinese society and meet Chinese friends and learn more about the culture, the thing is also that even though you really want to adapt to Chinese culture, it's also very nice to have something from home. Like to me, like for me, Denmark is a very small place. So it's not like I'm going out to look for Danish people, but just like some kind of Western people. If there is like a Western friend around, it at that time, anyways, when I was younger and just started coming here to China, I was like, okay, having a Western friend around is kind of nice because they kind of know what I'm going through, especially if it's one who has been here a little bit longer than me, because then they'll be like, oh yeah, I felt like that too, it's okay, you'll be fine, don't worry about it, So I think that's very important as well, to have like a mix of friends, Also, like if she comes here and she feels isolated, like, oh, it's just you and me, it's just very good to go out to events in general. And there are so many events going on all the time, especially if it's like bigger cities. So I think that's a very good thing. And again, that's also a way to personally to develop yourself, and your skills, your personality. I really like that, because when I came here the first time, I was so damn shy. Like, I was like, are people gonna laugh at my English, or my Chinese is not good? I don't know what to do. Just really scared. But I started meeting new people and traveling around on my own, becoming more independent, more social, and now I'm having a freaking great time here, China. Okay, let's see. 必须. I don't know. I don't know that character. I can only see that it's 热. It's a little sun, right? Yeah. Okay. So she has never been to China, so take good care of her. And Ryan says, 我你好，第一次看你直播 Yay! Well, 你好，我在这。Lingling 来了。Right then, where would be a good place for us to meet foreign friends? It depends which city you're in. Please let me know which city you're in, because I feel like Beijing is very easy, because you just go to a bar or you go to a event. So on WeChat, you can just follow official accounts. So for me, I just follow That's Beijing, The Beijinger, and Time Out Beijing. So those three, and Interns in Beijing, those four, they always have events going on all the time. And the Bookworm, I just started following the Bookworm as well. I think that one is like really good as well. So there are events going on all the time, but there is also meetup.com, where you can find events in your city. Couchsurfing, they usually have a lot of events going on all over the world. So that's also a great place to go. A lot of smaller cities also have, like, if they have a small community of Laowais, then just figure out which bar they go to. Like in Kunming, I remember it was Moondog. So everyone just went to Moondog. I don't know if anyone has been in Kunming or been to Moondog, but that was definitely where we were hanging out. I remember just all Laowai go there, and Chinese, like more international Chinese, and then everyone just mingling. It was such a fun time. I really liked that time. So let's see. Nice, you're a lovely human being. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm really enjoying China. I am. So you're in Xi'an. Xi'an is no problem. Like, there are a lot of foreigners in Xi'an. I haven't lived there, so I don't know where they go in Xi'an. But I remember in Xi'an, I was staying there for a little while with a friend, and we went to there was like a hostel in town. Well, we actually did a couchsurfing meetup. So basically, I had a Chinese friend, Tian Tian, and then me, and she was living over there for a little while. So one day I was like, maybe we should just set up a couchsurfing meeting. Yeah, so on couchsurfing.com, we just wrote, hey guys, is anyone up for a meeting? And or is anyone up for a meeting up? And some people replied, and then suddenly we were like a group of 10 people, and I was like, wow, that's amazing. Like, hello, that's really cool. So we actually went to one person's house to cook everyone, and then afterwards we went to a hostel bar, and I met even more friends there. And actually one of the guys I met there, he's still my friend like 7 years later, or 6 years later. I think that's pretty awesome. So yeah, just be a little creative, like couchsurfing.com, meetup.com, or different like 公众号. Yeah. So what is people saying? Austin is giving advice. Thank you, Austin. 西安外国语大学. Tons of foreigners there. Going to English corner would be good. That's true. Yeah, English corner, Chinese corner. Those corners are always great places to go. I don't like to go to bar because lots of foreigners only want. Well, I think that's a stereotype though. Like, I'm not thinking like these crazy like bars, like club. 不是夜店，不是 no， 就是那个特别轻松的酒吧，就是 more relaxed atmosphere bar kind of thing. So yeah, I hope that was useful. Let me know how it goes afterwards. I really hope that she will be happy here. How long is she going to stay? Is she going to stay here for a longer time or just for a visit? And where were we at? Yeah, so socializing in China, you definitely learn how to do that. You either learn how to socialize or you learn how to be alone with yourself. I just could not stand being alone with myself before. Seriously, I was so bad at it. at home, I would stay alone for an hour or two in my room, and I would be like, I would literally be about to cry. I was just so sad. I was like, I cannot stay with myself. Oh my God. Like at that time, I couldn't even look at myself without clothes. I'd be like, ew, it's disgusting. But, you know, at that time, I was just really not a fan of myself. But then I came here and I got sent to a very small place with only a few other people, and like a few other people with a few other foreigners. And at that time, I also learned that yeah, you know, you're a foreigner, I'm a foreigner, but it doesn't really mean that I like you that much. Like, I actually started connecting more with some Chinese friends, and afterwards, I had much more fun with the Chinese friends instead of the foreign friends. So, that's the first time when I learned that, you know, it actually doesn't matter about your nationality at all. Because there are, in many smaller places in China, there are foreigners who are just, you know, different from me, very different. And, a lot of them don't like China so much, and I'm Christian love, so I get really, it sounds silly, but I get really offended on Chinese, on the Chinese, how to say, Chinese way? No. I get really offended if other people, they complain too much about China. I'm like, yeah, we can talk some negative things, but then at some point I always feel like, but I still love her, I still like staying here, so stop being such a complainer person. My English is really bad today because I spoke Chinese all day yesterday, so that's why. Sorry. Mm. So Yutong says plan to settle down there when we finish out our master in Germany. That's great. That's very interesting. So you're both in Germany right now, or you're both in Xi'an, right? I'm not quite. Germany is a nice place too, though. It's just a hard language. Can you tell Europeans according to their appearance? Um, Sometimes I usually can differentiate between like Scandinavians and Eastern Europeans and like South Europe. Yeah, I think because it's mostly about like how they look, how they dress. Usually, I can differentiate, but I'm not saying that if one girl she is from Netherlands or Germany, and then I'm like, oh, she's. But usually, when people talk as well, then I'm like, oh, that accent, you know. But sometimes I'm also fooled. Sometimes I don't know. Yeah. So she's in Netherlands, and you speak fluent German. How the heck did you? And you're in the U.S. Oh my God, I'm so confused right now. Like, how the heck did you guys meet? Online, I guess. What are you saying, Lingling? What do foreigners complain most about China? Well, the people here in Beijing, they usually complain about the pollution and the many people. And then I think in the smaller cities, it's very often just like, oh, Chinese are dirty and like they're rude and they're this and that. It's just very negative. I just don't like it. Or people complain about the work, that it's hard to work here. Sometimes I would say though that it is hard to work in another culture. It's just many things here are very uncertain all the time, like nothing is planned. So I'll give you a very good example from my own life here. So I'm going to graduate in June, but nobody knows when we're graduating, and it's already March, it's already mid-March, and they don't know. So last week they told us that we should hand in our thesis on May 10 or before May 10. That was told, like they told us that 2 months beforehand. In Denmark, they tell us 3 years in advance. Like when you start university, there is a little book and everything is written down and planned for the next 3 years, which is very nice. You know, if you have any questions, you just look in the book. Here, nobody knows anything. I asked my professor, how long should my thesis be? And he's like, oh, maybe just look at the other theses from last year, and then maybe you can write something similar to that length. And I'm like, one paper is 40 pages and one is 80. Like, what should I go for then? So now I just go for a 60 and then we'll see how it goes. But yeah, he doesn't know. And then I talked to my professor, another professor, the one who is in charge of the program. I told him I accidentally bought, not accidentally, but because they couldn't tell us when we had to do the defense for our thesis, so I bought a trip to Japan for 2 weeks in the end of May. And I told him, would it be possible for me to do the defense before May 28th? And he was like, oh, I'm not sure. And I'm like, could you please figure it out? And he's like, yeah, we'll figure it out in May. And I'm like, please? Because I'm going with my best friend and I cannot just leave her there or like cancel the whole trip just because of like a 5-minute defense, right? So I tried to push it and I tried to tell him, you know, if I don't come, then you also have trouble with me afterwards. So it's both ways, right? But he's like, oh, I cannot decide because there are some other people who also has to decide it. And I'm just like, patience. Be patient, Lingling. Be patient. Take a deep breath and try not to freak out. Yeah, so that's a very good example of like China life here. Sometimes it's just like, I'm very happy that Lauren said hello. Thank you, Jessie. Very excited. I don't know what that word is. Cilantro? Oh my God. She's me. Oh, I'm not eating coriander, guys. Lauren, she always likes to put a lot of coriander in my food just for fun. I'm really sorry about this coughing. I know it's so annoying. Studied abroad and met in Munich. München. Ah, nice. I didn't know the word Munich before I came to China. My friend was like, yeah, I'm from Munich. And I'm like, where? Because I live very close to the border to Germany, so we don't translate the names. Yeah. The Beijing bikini, what is that? Is that like the full bikini thing? Yeah, it's very typical China. So that's one of my biggest issues here because I really like to like plan in advance. I plan like half a year in advance, and yeah, my school just doesn't really like that. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see. Yay! Hello to you, Play Night. Found your channel yesterday, seeing you live today. Well, I hope that you like what you see. Yeah, so we went through communication skills, language skills, socializing, how I've been developing myself with in those areas. And then intercultural skills, so you learn to live and work and do teamwork in a different culture from your own, which I think is extremely important for later on as well. If you're looking to like move back home, and you are, you know, when you're in like a competitive job market, you know, then I think it's very, very good if you can be like, well, I know intercultural, how to work in a intercultural environment. So I think that's a very good one for your CV as well. And then this one I just said, tolerance for ambiguity. So everything is planned in Denmark, and most things are very messy in China, always last minute. So get ready for that. But it's okay for me now because my life is very much like plan every week. Like once, like I make the overall plan for 6 months, but then in between it's very like today we do this, tomorrow we do that. So because everyone around me here is like suddenly, can you do this, or I cannot do that, or like suddenly canceling, then I just do the same, you know. So I've just adapted. So the way I live now is like very the same, like, you know, what they do. I just go with the flow. I just adapt and go with the flow. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about language skills. So when I came to China the first time, I did not want to learn Mandarin. Oh my gosh, no. I was sure that I just needed English. I just needed to be able to communicate with foreign friends that I was supposed to have while I was here, and that would be enough. And then I thought, oh, Chinese, they must be able to understand a little English. Anyways. But yeah, they didn't understand anything, and I was like, oh, they don't speak English here, so what am I supposed to do? So I just started to learn a little bit of Chinese, and then after a while it actually became a bit of a passion for me, an interest, and I just learned more, and I was like, hey, this is fun. So I signed up for a language course after half a year in China, and I got really into it, and now I'm supposed to take HSK 6, but the language test, the highest level, but I'm too lazy, like I cannot be bothered, but I should do it at some point just to prove that my Chinese is good. But yeah, so I'm fluent now, and it's great to have my CV. It's really great because I'm working here, so I usually work in Chinese, which makes everything so much easier. Like, obviously, there are a lot of Chinese in Beijing who wants to practice English, but it's only for a little, like a second, and then they turn into Chinese, speaking Chinese. Same when dating, we talk English maybe the first 2 days, and then it just turns into Chinese, and it kind of never goes back to English again. I've tried sometimes. I've been like, oh, please, babe, please, let's talk in English. And they're just like, yeah. So sometimes when I'm tired, if I'm dating in Chinese, then if I'm tired or if I'm talking something like very like serious topic or something where I'm like, I'm not quite sure how to translate it, I'll just speak English, but they'll just keep speaking Chinese to me. So that's usually how it goes. So I would definitely say that if you're coming here, practice a little bit of Chinese beforehand and also get ready to learn more here. I really think it's so freaking valuable also for later on if you're going to work back at home again and you want to, you know, to be able to get an even better job. Okay, so I'm just gonna look back at the comments here. I think you guys are having a lot of fun in the comments. Just curious, what factors can make European girls like Chinese guys? Well, I don't know. I just have according to my personal experience, I just have a thing for the looks. I'm just like, Chinese guys are so freaking cute, like so handsome. I look at the eyes and I'm like, like that. It's like if I see a cute guy, like a cute white guy and a cute Chinese guy, I'm just like, the Chinese, he gets 10 points extra just for looking cute, like just for looking Asian, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's mean, but like a few days ago, I met a white dude, and I was like, oh, he's actually kind of cute for a white dude, you know. But that was it, because I was like, but he's not really Asian, so I don't know. I guess it's a little bit of an obsession. Maybe I should stop thinking like that, but yeah. That's how I think. I think the girls who like Chinese guys, what I've seen anyways, is that usually they have an interest in Chinese language or Chinese culture or history, or they've been here before, or they want to go, they have a passion for China. That's, I have seen some who just fell in love with a Chinese guy and didn't know anything about anything, but a lot of the relationships that actually worked out is usually because the girl, she has some kind of interest in China. I'm just gonna cough again. This is so awkward. Just a little reminder to Lingling, don't do a live streaming when you're sick. I'm not really sick, I don't know, something's stuck in my throat. And it's not polluted outside, but it was bad yesterday, so I guess maybe that's why. Sometimes our young guys pull up the shirt too. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about, Austin, with the, okay, Beijing bikini, that's true, yeah, the guys, the Chinese men, they pull up the shirt, is kind of funny. A roll up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like if I take HSK6, then that's super legit. We'll see, I'm probably not gonna do it right now. Trying to teach my girl Chinese too. That's a good thing. I would say that like she needs to have some kind of interest in it, or maybe just like take her here and then she's gonna get stuck and you don't help her, and then well, I don't know if that was mean, but like I have had like boyfriends before. I've been telling them like, you should not help me unless I ask for you to help me with the translation, because if you always take the lead, then I'll just never learn it, you know. So I've often had like just a Chinese guy standing behind me and me not really knowing what to say, but I would just like push myself to do it because that's the only way to learn it, and that's also why I learned Chinese quite fast, I think. Yeah, so I have all of these mentions. Still hard to date a Kiwi girl. I don't know, I've never been there, so don't know about that. Unless you have muscle on your belly. Oh yeah, that's true. If the Chinese guys who were like muscly, if they just like pulled up the shirt, I think that would be cool. These things are subjective. For instance, Chris Wu may not be considered as good looking for some European women. I have no idea who Chris Wu is, but maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Your stream quality is really good, thank you. What VPN are you on? I'm on ExpressVPN. If you want to buy ExpressVPN, then please use my link, that will support the channel. But yeah, ExpressVPN is really good. And also, I'm in a coffee shop and not many people are here. There's only one other girl, and their Wi-Fi is in general really good. So I'm going to try to do more live streaming for here for sure. And what time is it in China? It's Sunday morning, 9:48 in the morning. Yeah. Thank you. I'm very happy the quality is working. No, I'm not sure who that is, to be honest. Sorry. Yeah, where is everyone at right now? Are you all in China? Are you in America? Where are you at? I'm really curious. Okay, yeah, so this video is about this personal development journey, right? So I was just wondering, have you had any experience yourself? Oh, sorry. My God, this is awful immature, unprofessional. Sorry, guys. Have you had this experience yourself? Like, what do you think that you learned on your personal journey or like personal development journey in China or abroad or somewhere else? I guess some of you are Chinese who are staying abroad. So, have you also learned these things? Oh, Thailand, Zhongguo, England. One in England, you're staying up in the middle of the night? I'm so honored. Thank you very much. Yeah, hot water. I know. I had to drink some hot water. Chicago. I want to go and I want to go to Chicago. Actually, There's another woman there, Susan, who wrote the book, "The Good Chinese Wife." I think A Love Affair with China Gone Wrong. You should really read that one. That is a great book. She's so nice. She's always in Chinatown in Chicago, so I would love to go there and visit her. Moving to China next Thursday. That's cool, Mr. Passion Truth. Is it your first time to China or have you been here before? Yeah, I'm coughing. I know. Shocking. I know. Auckland. I've also wanted to go to New Zealand actually, but money and time. Next time I'll go to Tibet, so I'm pretty excited about that. Apparently, Tibet, like all. I don't know if it's like a tourism scam or something from the government, but basically until April 31st or 30th, I think, it's free. All sightseeing spots are free, like you don't have to pay any entrance fees, and hotels are apparently like half price, and like Daba, the bus, is like half price, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. What are you doing in New Zealand? The last paradise of the world. I thought Australia is pretty paradise too. Yeah. Thank you, Eric, recommending some medicine. I cannot read it. Tranbe something tongue and not sure. You probably have to write it in pinyin as well, else I won't be able to find it. But thank you very much. Nicole says, I'm having chicken satay at 1:50 a.m. Did you go party, Nicole? Sounds like it. Do you like it? It's one of my favorite Chinese dishes. I'm not quite sure what chicken satay is. I guess it's something like kung pao chicken, maybe? Maybe? This will be my first time flying. I've never been on a plane. Oh my goodness grace. Well, I hope that you'll enjoy your trip here. China is great. Just remember to download a VPN before you're leaving your country. It would just make your life easier. Northern California, an hour east of San Francisco. That's cool, Patricia. I was there last summer. It was very interesting. I actually met quite a few people from YouTube. And YouTube is just also a great place to meet new friends, I think. Software developer. Wow, sounds cool. Maybe you can help me when I don't know how to deal with these things. I don't know. It's just my IT skills are I think that's one of the only things I haven't learned here in China. Okay, cool, thanks. I think your feed cut off when I asked about job opportunities in China. Yeah, Sarah, sorry, I didn't see that. So what kind of jobs are you looking for? I think that's another really cool thing. Like you come here to China and you get a full-time job and then you work for a year. And I feel like during that time you get to learn so many things as well. Like you're gonna go through all these things that I just talked about, like learning patience, learning how to deal with cultural differences. You're learning a new language probably if you don't stick with your own language. I'm obviously always forced to use other languages because of Danish is not super popular abroad. I always before I always told my friend that Danish is going to be the next world language, but yeah, I don't think so. It was just a funny joke, I guess. Sorry again. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you for saying that. Looks so fresh. It's a compliment, by the way. I'm a morning person, so I really do much better in the morning than in the evening. That's why I try to have live streaming in the morning, because I'm just more fun in the morning. Like after 6 p.m., I'm just dead. I'm just like, when it's at 9:30, I just need to sleep, you know. I could basically go to bed at 6 p.m. if I didn't have a roomie. Like when she's outside, when she's traveling, I usually go to bed at like 8:30. It's really awful. I just cannot stay awake if nobody is keeping me awake, you know. Sarah says, I'm studying a degree in Chinese studies, so I'm studying the language and culture. I'll spend a year in Beijing in September 19. Well, that's great. It's going to be no problem for you to find a job afterwards then. So you graduate from your home country, right? So the thing is, in China, they want like people with 2-year experience abroad. If you're graduated outside, outside of China, if you graduate in China, then you can stay and immediately get a job. Work visa is quite of a struggle here, but it's not impossible. So you can do it, I'm sure. Thank you, Ryan. I'm just sorry that you have to listen to all my coughing here like an old sick person. I'm just gonna drink a little bit of coffee. So Nicole, she's asking, are you single at the moment? Can you tell us your favorite date you've ever been to? So I'm kind of single, but not really. It's a little hard to explain. It's there is one guy around, but he's not really here, so he's only on the phone, which is a little annoying. And we work together as well, so it works fine, but it's not really a relationship. Does that make sense? Like, if I want to go on a date, it's fine for him, but I just try to do my own thing. I've been on a few dates lately. A little awkward days. I'll share with you guys. It was kind of funny. Okay, so basically I have a friend, Jessica. You've seen her in some of my videos. Jessica, she's married to a Beijing guy. And the Beijing guy, he thought that he wanted to share my picture on his WeChat because he apparently knows a lot of cute guys. So he shared the picture. And then some of his friends and friends of friends, they some of his friends and friends of friends, they were like, yeah, I would like to go on a date with Lingling. And then I got a few WeChat contacts, and I talked, like, my friend's husband, he sent me like a long list, like, here are 3-4 candidates, and then you can just choose which one you want to get to know. So I chose 2 guys, and one, he replied, but he didn't invite me or anything. Like, he didn't do anything, so I was just like, whatever. He's still on my WeChat though. And then the other guy, he was perfect. Like, he's doing work like similar to mine, and he is doing he's like age fits and like height, and he is very open-minded. He's been abroad and everything, so it's really cool. But we met, and there was no chemistry. Like, it was just a chit chat, but nothing interesting. So afterwards we did meet again, and then another one. My friend, he gave me another one, and I talked a little bit with him, and then he said some things where I was like, nah, it's not cool. So I deleted him, but then he apologized many times. I added him again, or accepted his request. So one day I was out shopping with my friend, and then he called me like, do you want to have lunch? And I was like, I'm with my friend. He was like, that's not a problem. I'll just go and pick you up. So he came with his friend, 2 guys, and then they took us to the Hutongs, where we had a private dinner, or a private lunch with him, 3 of his really cute friends, like really handsome friends, and then my friend. And then we were just, hanging out. But he just, again, said a few things where I was like, nah, it's not cool. So afterwards, I met his friend, who was a little interesting for 2 minutes, I guess. But he was also a player, so not interesting either. And now I'm just here, I meet up with my gym friends, and yeah, I don't know if it's an open relationship, maybe, I guess, yeah, I don't know. Guys, are you being dirty? Like, stop saying dirty things. I can see my monitor is deleting your messages. Don't be silly. Sarah says, I'm trying to get a summer internship. Love all your videos. Thank you very much. Yeah. And Mr. Liu, he says he's going to hit on me. Well, you're kind of far away, so I don't think it's going to work out. I don't like the long distance, so unless you come to Beijing, it's probably not going to happen. Sarah, well, in China terms, he doesn't live that far away. It's like 5 hours with the fast train. So it's not super far, but it's still far enough for him not being able to come here. Like, he's also doing his studies and stuff, so I'm probably going to go and visit him at some point. But we'll see. We're trying to figure it out. Anyways, he's on the phone every day, and it's nice to have someone to talk to. So I like that. He's a good guy. And Lauren is here. Hello, Lauren. I'm happy you just had time to say hello. I guess it's a good time for you. I'm so jealous that you went to San Francisco New Year, Chinese New Year thing. That was so cool. I would have loved to go and see that as well. Like, I feel like the American Chinatown New Year parades are so much cooler than here in Beijing. Like, nothing happens here in Beijing. Yeah. I know. I'm sure Jesse has a lot to take care of. I didn't even see the messages. Leo, yeah. Well, if my assistant decided to delete your message, I'm sure you said something bad. I don't really believe you're a gentleman anymore, to be honest. I'll talk to him afterwards and see what happened. I know. Oh my God, that could be so much fun. Lauren, she just said, I would love to host you for next year's Chinese New Year parade. So Lauren and I, we met in China because I was spamming her on her YouTube channel. I saw that she was in China, and then suddenly she came to Beijing, and we had like, I don't remember, like half a year together, I think, which was so much fun. So 6 months later, I went to San Francisco to see her, and it was just so much fun. And I would actually love to go back for Chinese New Year next year. We should try to figure that out. That would actually be really cool. Yeah. Oh wow, Lauren, you did live streaming now as well. How did I not see that? I didn't see that at all. Oh, that's so. I would love to see that. Oh, I'll see the replay. So Jesse, he's helping both of us. He's just such a master. Yeah, it's crazy how you can do this. It's so cool. He's champion for sure. Nicole says, can you not tell us about the Chinese beauty standards? Are they as harsh as South Korea, where they expect girls to look like porcelain dolls? Yeah, I would say it's something similar. It's like you have to be under a 50 kg, like skinny girl, and really, really pale, and super big eyes, and yeah, just long and skinny. But again, like the guys I've met, obviously the guys can see that I'm not like that. So I've never met a guy who was like, oh my God, you're too fat, I don't want to hang out with you. They're just like, ooh, nice curves, so nice. So I don't really care that much about the beauty standards, to be honest. Like, I don't want friends who talk about those things. Like, I've heard my friends complain that at work the Chinese girls like, oh my God, I'm so fat, and then they're like touching their ribs and you can see them stick out, and you're like, right, yeah, you definitely have some kind of anorexia disease or problem. So yeah, I don't really hang out with people like that. My girlfriends, they're normal size, and they don't talk about those things. So it definitely depends who you want to hang out with. And the same with the guys. Like, if the guys have that kind of beauty standard idea, then screw them. I don't give a shit, to be honest. I'm just like, I am perfect as I am. So if you don't like that, then 再见. Very easy like that. Goodbye. So let me see. Not that harsh in SK. What is SK? Just be yourself in China, no one will judge you. Yeah. Well, it depends though. Like I do have a friend with like who has very short hair and a lot of tattoos, a white girlfriend, and she has some problems with dating, but I think, yeah, it depends who you meet. Ryan says what 情人眼里出西 sure something. Not sure what that means. You probably have to write a write a translation. Thank you, Leo. You're not fat at all. You're charming. Well, thank you. Reveal your boyfriends. No, I'm not going to do that. Lauren says, I have to go, but I'm glad I caught a bit of this. I'll be sure there's plenty of xiangcai growing in the garden for you to visit here next year during the parade. Thank you very much. I'm going to be so excited to have all that coriander. Yay! Lauren, she just knows how much I love that. Yes! I hate xiangcai. Xiangcai is the coriander. I hate it. That's the worst. You put that in my food and I'm gonna hate you forever. We're not gonna be friends. Okay, anyways guys, we have 3 minutes left, so just want to say that I want to do more videos about this personal development journey here in China and how you can learn from your experiences here in China, how you can develop yourself and grow your resume, CV. If you're planning on like going back to your own country, find a full-time job and you're like, my CV is kind of lame. I think 1 year in China literally can boost you so much in so many ways. So I've started working together with a few different companies. One is Career China. They're so nice. So I help them make videos about like very simple things like how to use different apps in China. And they have a service where they help people come over to be English teachers here, like native English speakers to come over here and teach. Which I think is a perfect way to develop yourself. I have done that as well, and it has just helped me so much in so many ways. I don't even know where to start or where to end, but I'm going to talk more about that in a video, probably a bunch of videos. Then I'm going to talk more about like Chinese language studies as well. I feel like I haven't done enough about that. I'm going to start working with a school here. I'm going to take some more private classes, and then I'm going to share my experience about that. And then you can see how you can learn more Chinese and also how you can make it more interesting when you're learning Chinese. Very often I've been like, it's so boring, I don't like the content. So that's why I want to do private classes at a private school, because it's just easier to tell them what I want to learn and then learn more like that. I really like that. And another plan is also another company, the company I came with here the first time in China. They also have some really cool programs. I'm going to share more about that again, like how you can sign up for these programs and come to China and develop yourself. So the thing is that going to China on your own without any support system the first time around can be very hard. Like, I'm so happy that I had that help and support the first time I came here, because I don't know how I would have survived without them. So I just used an agency the first time for 6 months, and then afterwards I was just, I just felt like I knew enough to do it myself. So that's just a suggestion, I just think that's a great way to do it, because there are some really good companies out there, so I'm gonna try to work more with them and share it with you guys. I hope that's cool. And yeah, I'm happy to see you too, Patricia. Patricia says she's happy she called me live. Big virtual hug. So nice. And I'm happy other people liking coriander. I really don't. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Okay, that's cool. And Taki says, Lingling, you're beautiful. Try finding a total Chinese guy, though. It may take time. It's not that hard here in Beijing, though. Like in the gym yesterday, I just saw a nice Chinese guy, very tall. But my gym coach, he was like, nah, he's too skinny. And I was like, dude, you don't have to. I think he was just jealous because my gym coach is very short. He was just like, look at this tall guy. He's skinny. It's not cool. It's not cool. You shouldn't talk to him. But yeah, anyways, the guy I'm seeing a little bit right now, he's also taller. Usually I say if you want a taller Chinese guy, it's a good idea to look in the northern part of China because people just bigger there compared to the south. Yeah. And yeah, I think that was it. That's great, Mr. Liu, but you're still not in Beijing, so 没办法. Remember that. Come to Beijing and I'll probably, maybe accept a date. Yeah, too bad. Anyways, guys, I think it's time for me to go now. I hope you're excited to see more new videos from Lingling, and I really love all your support and help and everything. So nice to talk to you, and I'll definitely try to do more live streams. I just need to figure out what time is good. Was this time good? Is it good for everyone? I guess not for Europe. Not so many people on, so I guess it's better to do like live streaming sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes in the evening. We'll see. Francisco says, 老外朋友，你在什么学校学中文? Different places. I've been many different places, many different universities actually, all around, and also on the street. So yeah, thank you very much for coming and hanging out, and I'll see you in my next video. So goodbye, 零零小鸡 and 再见. Bye bye. Bye bye.